Hi guys, and welcome to U-Wrench. Today we're working on the Mark V Grand Caravan, also applies to the Chrysler Town & Country. And on this video we're going to be showing you how to remove the upper tailgate trim. It's worth noting that our upper tailgate panel trim here is separate to the lower one, but you do not have to remove the lower one if it's only the upper one you want to remove. And in this video we're going to be focusing on the upper one. If, however, you need to remove the lower one or both, then we have also done a video on how to remove the lower one, and we'll add a link for you into the video description below. So without any further ado, let's get this trim panel removed. So the first thing we need to consider is whether your car has the electric tailgate. And obviously if your car does not have the electric tailgate, the process is exactly the same. You can just skip this one step. But as we can see, the car we're working on today does have the electric tailgate. So what we need to do before we start doing any work on this is we need to make sure that we disconnect the negative terminal on your battery. And so once we've safely disconnected the negative on our battery, it's safe to work on this rod. And all that we need to do is actually disconnect the end right here. The reason being, of course, it passes through our trim panel. So the trim panel is not going to come off whilst this is still attached. So it's only actually the negative terminal that we need to remove. The positive you can leave attached. So just tuck that safely out the way, make sure it's not going to come back up and accidentally touch the terminal. So for the removal of the end of the rod here, you see it's got a little plastic cap just on the end. What we need to do is grab ourselves a small flat-headed screwdriver, and you'll see that there's little kind of notches around the outside for lifting this up. Now it's very important when you lift this up not to try and remove it. It pops out, but it's not designed to be removable. So it's going to pop out to a certain distance, and that should be enough to allow us to release it. But don't try and remove this cap completely, because otherwise you may break it. I'm just trying to release it evenly, rather than all from one side. Get into the centre now. There. So again, like I said, don't try and remove it. You heard it kind of pop as it kind of clicked out, and that's far enough. Don't try and remove it any further than that. So now we should be able to pull this sideways, and it will come off of the little ball just there. And then if you need to, for access, you can just kind of push that down, just so it's out of your way. So the way that our upper trim is held in place here is actually got several clips on the back of it. I think there's two on either of the two ends, and I think there's four across the centre. And these clips literally just pop out. So what we need to do is we need to grab a suitable tool so that we can start working on this panel. Now you can do it with a flat-headed screwdriver, but the problem with flat-headed screwdrivers, of course, is they're made from metal, and so it's very, very easy to damage your plastic. So a much better option is to use these plastic trim tools. You can pick these up very, very inexpensively on Amazon, and we will add some links for these into the video description below. So if you're interested in picking up a cheap set of these, they make this kind of job a lot easier, and it's a worthwhile investment. So those links will be in the video description below if you need them. So the easiest place to start is on the inside, on the end here, where it overlaps the lower panel. You just want to get your trim tool into the gap here between the two, and then just lever that off. Like a little kind of plastic latch where the two kind of interconnect just there. So now we need to start working at these clips one by one. Now an important thing when you're releasing these clips is when you kind of flex the plastic, you can kind of feel where it is. Like I'm flexing it there, I can feel that there's one right in around there. But when I come to release that, what I don't want to do is try and release it from back here, because that's quite a long lever, and so it's possible that you could snap the trim because you've got a long lever there and you're putting a lot of pressure on it. So once you've located roughly where the clip is, what you want to try and do is get your fingers, oh there it goes, your fingers in as close as you can into that clip. So rather than using massive levers and snapping something, get your fingers in as close as you can, and that's going to make releasing these clips both easier and safer, because you're unlikely to damage the trim. So next I can feel there's one there. And all we're going to do is just repeat that. I've got nice access to the top now. Just come round, feel for where the clips are, and just start removing them. And again, exactly the same thing on the other side. Get your fingers in as close as you can to the clips. Remember, we've got a top and bottom clip. So here's the clips and the way that they work. As you can see, we've just got this metal clip. It's got 2 prongs on it, so it's kind of creates outward pressure. And obviously these are dotted around the sides here. And that's literally slots into a little hole that's in the tailgate, just like that. And so it just pops in and it's held in there with pressure. So all you need to do is pull them out. And as you see, they're fairly easy to come out, these. With a little bit of pressure, they will just pop out of these holes. So there we have it. That's how you remove the upper trim from your tailgate. That's going to give you access to all these electrics here, so you can go ahead and work on whatever fault that you have. And remember, if you do have to go further than this and you want to remove the lower panel as well, we have done a separate video for that, and there will be a link in the video description below. And so there we have it. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has, can we ask that you please take 1 second out of your busy schedule just to hit that like button for us, because it really does help out our YouTube channel. Likewise, please consider subscribing. We've got loads more great content on these cars just waiting for you to check out. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.